Well, a very happy Saturday morning to everyone out there, and welcome. I'm Marcus Carlton, and I've got, as you quad here with to my left, Randy left, Donovan Lee, and to my friend we call the Steve Clay. Are inside of a week from the game of the high school football. Benefit games have already happened, but now it's season underway.
About it and looking forward to being a part of the Soncom team this year. And of course, I've been a part of the year entire season, and
for the 2026 season for Soncom Media as One Light Media, and we'll tell you a little bit more about our end of the show. But as Randy is now the official voice of Media Game of the Week, the finalist down to his left, Mr. Donovan Lee. Welcome aboard. Forward to watching you guys take on this schedule of games that we've got. 9-game schedule for Soncom Media. We've got 10 side with West Side High School football. We'll dive into that a little. Randy, I can't if there would be anybody in this area that's not. Just tell us just a little bit of your background.
I guess that definitely makes I think I broadcast my first high school football. Not even the year. I think it was 1980s, and it was at one of the places we'll be at here in a couple of weeks, or on September 11th at Crider Field in Hoxie. The first game I Hoxie at Crider Field, and so that was a pretty good game to, and obviously a huge game to start my football broadcast career. Pretty much not every year since then, more of them than not. Valley View Blazers have also been the voice of the Cats. That goes back to the 80s. Chickasaws. So, like I said, I've been around.
Yeah.
Got a few games under my belt.
A few names that went on to be big time later. Out to your tag team partner, Donovan.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yes.
The new kid, so we'll leave the luggage outside for you to carry, sure. and you can get the donut. Hey, see, my man's got it right. So, Donovan, you're coming on new with this. You
reached out and was like, we said for my first ever call, which happened to be Nettleton, and a core memory of mine. I don't know if he realized how much that meant to me, but that meant a lot to me. Remember, he wanted, do you want to join in for the ride? So I hopped in the passenger seat, and here we are.
All right. Well, and this man down here to my the veteran of the Clayton, former coach, former a little bit of everything, and I as the football encyclopedia, because it seems like no matter what question I throw at Steve, he's always got an answer for me. So, Steve, I'm looking forward to work as my color guy on the West Side game this year.
encyclopedia. So we'll go from there, and I've had the pleasure of working with Randy, and because of my chronological age forever, and consider myself a football coach. That was obviously my passion and my. Now that I'm retired, Mark.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun this year, and said here we know everybody's waiting right to it, and let's get into this Soncom Media 9-game schedule for your Soncom off. We're not going far from the head. Jonesboro, get back over to Cooksey John. Randy, you know this very. Panthers coming in. Start the season with Steve. You know this as well. Cabot, hard hitting, hard playing team. Of them being a very tough team.
They're going to spread out and throw it a little bit more, but like you, and that's right up my sleeve.
Yeah, there. Things, you know, Jonesboro coming off. I think Coach had, and you know, what a statement it would be from there at Cooksey Johns.
Yeah, this will be a good test for Jonesboro to start. Pretty excited about this game. You talked about the mic. And while Cabot still has that rich tradition that Coach Malham's helped establish, you know, this is not the Cabot team that I'm going to be used to seeing. An adjustment for me to see them put the ball in the air as they are now.
Moving on to Friday, September 4th, we hit the road. Raiders traveling over for a 3-member Gosnell Pirates. Gosnell coming off, I would call an extreme.
One of their best seasons in years.
Last year, had a heartbreaker of a loss in the playoffs last year. I believe it was against Warren.
Right.
Had through, and I talked to Randy Coleman, the new win coach. He was at that Warren Gosnell game. Says one of the best high school games he's ever seen. You had a little bit of everything. Warren built out a big lead. Gosnell battled their way back in, got it down inside the 20 with a chance to take the lead late in the fourth quarter, and just could not finish the deal. He's coming back this year. Looking forward to that one. Steve Hampton will have ready to roll, and I think we're off and running here with 2 great matchups to start the season.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this game, and we just added this to the schedule. We found out that this game had been added to the schedule today, so I am very excited about Nettleton at Gosnell. Benefit game, South Side. It's a 1-point game.
I believe so.
Got a lot of here. This should be a great matchup. I'm excited about it.
And one thing about Gosnell is going to have speed. That they just always seem to be loaded with a lot of speed, and speed's something you can't teach.
I'll add this as well. This game is for high school football.
One of the more unique high school settings that we have in Northeast Arkansas. And Donovan, I don't know if you've had a chance yet, but the cool feel, pirate ship.
I love
so
that.
It's a fun. I'm a little jealous of you guys on that game because that. Salem Greyhounds make the trip up to Lawrence County to take on the Hoxie Mustangs. And Randy, you said you had a little history with Hoxie. Hey, man.
First high You know, one of the things that I remember about that night, of course, it was this one will be, and there were so many mouth to call the bugs flying into my mouth. Hopefully that won't be an issue, but if it is, we'll deal with it. But I'm very, very much excited about Salem. Of course, I've had a Sears there at Hoxie, and
you and I worked together on a game at maybe West Side at Hoxie. Now, gas and everything, and so you
glad to hear that.
So bugs will be at a minimum as well.
That's
but
good to know.
Great facilities, but
Very
I love quarterback. Talking to Tom Sears.
And he's
I can't think of anybody who at their school longer
you
than he
know,
has.
I'm old enough, and I know you guys are as well. I remember him as a quarterback over at A State
Right.
back in his playing days, and then
During the Ray Perkins
yeah,
years.
during the oh gosh. Yeah, he was a quarterback at A State, and then I don't know if Hoxie was his first. Since.
Exactly, and done a great job. And like you said, great facilities. His son Cole is actually his offensive coordinator, so great environment.
Friday, September 11th. No game on the 18th. Considered pretty much a bye. Almost everybody in Northeast Arkansas.
That's what I was about to say. I think everybody in Northeast Arkansas is off that week.
And I like the fact of giving the guys a week off. You know, by that point, you're 3 games in. You're bruises, those little nagging
And it's
injuries.
a week before conference. So
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Starts.
Yeah,
makes a
get you almost a reset button before you get into conference play that. Speaking of that following week, Friday 5th, South head down to Poinsett County Wildcat State campus of Truman High School. Pete Simpson and his gun T trip down to Truman to take. You know, South Side, they made in the 4A division. Offense was absolutely loaded. They lost a few keys. The thing with that Southside team is they are almost at a point where when they lose somebody and just bring in another weapon.
Most importantly, I'll take that over experience or anything. If that's a huge variable, and they
As a the state, particularly in this part of the state. I'm excited about this game too. For basketball games, I've kind of seen the stadium from the outside looking in, but I've never actually been in that stadium when a game was in progress, so I'm pretty excited about that.
It's another school here in Northeast Arkansas invested in
Good looking park.
facilities. They've got the big indoor facility at one end of the field, and then the turf. The press boxes are nice to where we don't feel like when we're talking we're bleeding over the PA guy. So that's always a big plus from the production standpoint. I've always enjoyed my trips to Truman. Usually had some pretty good games there. Looking forward for Southside at Truman kicks off conference play week. That's a 4A3 matchup. Should be a good. And then moving ahead, so this one's going to be a little bit different. On Friday, October 2, we're going to throw the bat signal up in the air. We're going to combine the whole squad here, and we're going to do kind of what we've as a super live stream. We're going to join forces between Soncom Media and Sunlight Media for Westside at Pocahontas. Stadium, another nice facility that we all really enjoy going to. It seems like Pocahontas usually rolls out the red carpet for Soncom Media when we come up. Another 4A3 matchup. And, Steve, you know this as well as anybody. Pocahontas, another one of those teams that's going to play hard and hit hard.
Chester, and they got a quarterback that's Spencer James.
Yes.
Predominantly, they've run, from what I understand, talking to Casey Chester more this year, and James can spin the football.
Yeah, and don't forget about the X-Man, Xavier Ballard, returns in that backfield there to kind of anchor the running back position for the Redskins. Westside, a lot of newness that we scheme, new quarterback, just a more or less like a clean slate with the. So they are an enigma run, kind of a mystery, and that to your advantage as much as you can, and just see where it takes you. So Westside, Friday, October the 2nd, old stomping grounds. We're about 50 up, so right. That's always a fun trip for me. Get to see a lot of familiar faces and get the next week, Friday, October 9th, we're putting in another bye week before we hit this home stretch. So, no, is that right? Yeah, Friday, October 9th.
For Soncom, yes.
Yeah, for Soncom has a bye week that week. Another chance to recharge the batteries, get ready for the home stretch. 16th, 26th, Soncom Media dips into 8-man football as they head up to the county for the Rector Cougars hosting the Midland Mustangs. And I don't have experience with this. I've had to talk to some of my friends and colleagues that do. But, Randy, I think this may be your first opportunity to dip your toes in that water.
This will be the first ever seen in person. Now, I've seen a couple of the 8-man championship games on Arkansas PBS, you know, and I've been entertained by those. So I'm very intrigued. Rector and Rector has turned into one of the better programs in the state. I think years removed from an 8-man state champion.
Yeah, and you know, dropped from 11-man to 8-man. Will it work? Will they like it and everything? Everybody likes to win. And when you get, it doesn't matter what level you're playing, your players, their mindsets are going to be better. And Rector established themselves as Randy said, as one of the top 8-man teams in this part of the. But I assume they're going to come in playing really hard. Looking forward to that game on Friday, October 16th. And I have some family actually that plays at Corning, and they've talked to me a little bit about if you get past that first containment, chances are you're probably going to score.
Oh, okay. So we'll see a lot of action.
But, excuse me, still blocking and tackling.
Yes.
But it's a lot bigger. Wide open football, and it is a lot of fun. I've called the games at Rector. Randy, I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to it.
So next week, Friday, October 23rd, as we get close to the end of the regular season, we make the trip up to county into Paragould for new coach at Wynn, Randy Coleman, a guy that we're from calling a few games with us here on Soncom. He's now the head man down for the Wynn Yellow Jacket program. Going to bring them up to Paragould to take on the Rams in a 5A East conference matchup. I've got my eye on Wynn this year. That I have to admit, you know, knowing I'll be watching them with a little closer eye, and you know he's going to bring his style of offense, throw it around the yard, and they're going to play hard or they won't play, and that's
a lot of people that are going to have their eye on Wynn for that very reason. I think Randy Coleman's involvement there has created a lot of buzz about the Yellow Jacket, and it's going to be a new football from what they've been used to for the last 20-plus years, I think. I mean, they've put the ball in the air a few times, and it's going to be a whole different ball game at Wynn. I'm very excited about Wynn and Paragould.
Why not? A Wynn football got some friends that Wynn. They're excited. Randy, he's going to open up. He's had 3 or 4 that that have moved back. You got some personnel. I'm quarterback. He's pretty good at what he does.
So that's Friday, October 23rd to Paragould to take on the October 30th. I believe that's Eve, I think, is the night before Halloween.
Right.
Have a spooky matchup as we go back to Oxy. Also breaking news this year, Brandon Powell moves over from EPC to take the program. Steve, success at EPC, back to back, was it back two or three, back to back state final games, just couldn't. But I think he's walking into
There's always athletes to Rivercrest, and it ought to be a great game as Rivercrest goes into Hoxie. We've already bragged about Coach Sears, so Randy, fun game to call.
Well, when you talk about Rivercrest, there are two things that always come on the ball. One of them is just that blue-collar, workmanlike attitude that is tradition. It's the most tradition-rich program in this part of the state, and I think that attitude and that blue-collar approach that they take is one reason that tradition, and I see no reason that Brandon Powell will not continue.
I would agree. Coach, you always want to come in. Taking what's there and building on it, and Powell is a great fit for that Rivercrest program. October 30th, and a game of the week in the regular season. Friday, always appeals to me. The Battle of the Bell. Greene County this season, second time get Paragould, but you guys, as anyone else, that no matter how the season has gone up to this point, it's kind of like Alabama Auburn. Both of those teams could be 2-9 going into that game, and if they beat the other, it's going to make the season a little more tolerable.
Well, it doesn't matter one of them. Nine those games you can definitely throw out the record and play hard. It's a hard. Paragould.
Absolutely. Randy, we also Tech has a new comes over to take the head coaching position for the
you look at the game, it's been dominated recently by County Tech, I believe. Change at Tech this year with Coach Holmes. Yeah, this should be a great one. It's always a fun game whenever Tech and Paragould get together.
Yeah, a lot of clean, old-fashioned speak.
Yeah.
The rivalry games are just so much fun. All right, I'm going to throw you guys one curveball. But now you and I get to do all the West Side games. But if you could just watch one game as here, which one of those?
Game
one, huh?
It ought to be a fantastic, a lot of heart and
Sure.
Here for Soncom.
All right, I'll skip. What's your one game?
I'm intrigued by all of them, but I'm really on week 2, or I guess technically be week 1. Next week will be week 0,
right,
according to the triple.
Right.
but Nettleton at Gosnell.
Here, what
All right.
just and may not know some of these teams as well as others, but based on our expert takes down here, game do you see? It's the expert piece, but
For sure. I think I'm also gonna go with Steve Owensboro game.
Yeah.
Can they accomplish what they need to accomplish? Because I've heard, especially the quarterback, him kind of throw it down and mention they've had.
Get off. October 2nd, west side of Pocahontas. I'm, got kids at West Side now. That's up in Randolph. I remember going. I didn't. I remember doing that as a kid all the time. So that one's kind of pull it. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's given. So since I'm kind of game, I'm with Randy. I like that Nettleton. Got such a unique environment over there. They're good, and their fans are there. That raucous environment that is for anybody to go. Nettleton will travel quite well for that one, and the home fans are going to come out for that one. Coach Smith make sure there's a lot of great games on the get bit and talk about Sunlight Media channel. So you've got Soncom Media and Sun, where self and schedule, and we've got a little video package here to kind of go over each individual game for Westside. So guys, look at that package. We touched on this early as the new head coach at West. Not real familiar with it, so give us just the bare, like a double wing. It's a ball.
He's going to predominantly run the football. Everybody, two wing backs on every option. They run the bug sweep, talk sweep, the blast, and he's changed around some personnel.
Mm-hmm.
He's moved Turner from quarterback, and so it's up football.
Don't really know. Making sure that I know who has the ball on that. Well, there you have it, gentlemen. We've got our 9 games. I'm sorry, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. Making sure I can count right here. Soncom Media.
You did well.
One thing I should be able to count. Latch on to this comes playoff time, but we're Steve. Start with you.
I'm like a little kid at Christmas. Everybody's undefeated. They're excited about week 1 as I am, and I really look forward to working with you.
Randy, any final thoughts?
Pigskins in the air and on the ground. Let's get it going and rock and roll, guys.
Yeah.
I'm very much excited about it and looking forward to it.
I think once we get into that prayers, go time.
Yeah,
The anticipation.
Get in.
Yes.
Media. Facebook. Subscribe. Same. Gentlemen, 6 days away. I'm going to go home. I feel like I could run through a brick wall right now.
There
The
you go.
adrenaline's up. And for the Soncom guys over here. Season